Hello everybody and welcome back to Football Manager. No, that's on the other channel, F1 Manager 2022, and we're going to the very quick, the very fast Red Bull Ring in Austria, which should be good, and we are doing very well. Best of the rest at the moment, 4th place with Aston Martin, quite a way off Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes, but we're making it our own, 12 points ahead of Alfa Romeo. We're in a good position. We've got a couple of projects happening at the moment. We're doing some research into next year's front wing. We've got a new front wing design happening and an underfloor coming as well pretty soon, which is good. Actually, we're manufacturing those new ones, which is wonderful. And a rear wing will be coming in 38 days, which is good. Something we haven't gone and looked at recently, though, is the facilities. So let's go and have a quick check to see how everything's getting on. We've got the new design centre coming soon, which gives us a bit more engineering capacity. The factory, I'd be keen to get this up as soon as we can, really, to its maximum, but it's 28 million, which is quite a lot of money. Staff facilities-wise, race simulator is maxed out. Scouting department, I'm not really fussed about that. The team hub, we could improve the team hub, get everyone up a little bit more morale-wise and weekly experience gain for the staff. In terms of operations, boardrooms are undergoing a refurb. Hospitality area, 2.8 million, give us a monthly upkeep. Increase the team attractiveness and team attractive facility bonus. Yeah, not fussed about that. The tour centre, I think, is the one we want to do. Yeah, let's do that. Get a big weekly income boost on that. Memorabilia, we still don't have that much memorabilia to actually advertise. Helipad, obviously, is maxed out. We're going to leave the weather centre for the moment. So everything's looking pretty good. I think, yeah, we just need to save a bit of money for that factory, and then I think we'll have one more for the design center after this as well. Yeah, I need to go up to level 5. The simulator would be useful for improvements in terms of, well, all of this stuff would be really useful. I think we need to focus on getting all of this done, to be honest. I think that's what we need to focus on going forward. We need to make sure our car development facilities are as max as possible, but 9 million in the bank is pretty good. We're going to go into the Austrian Grand Prix. I'll do practice. I'll see you for qualifying. Here we are then, back for qualifying, and I'm expecting us to do pretty well here, to be honest. I'm expecting us to have a good qualifying session, which is the best engine we've got. Yeah, 73%. That one still goes in the car. The only problem we've got is Fernando Alonso caused a bit of a crash. He had a spin, and then Sergio Perez drove straight into him, which was very irritating. And so he's got a 3-place grid penalty, which is slightly annoying, to be honest, but hopefully he can climb those 3 places pretty quickly and we can get through into a good, oh, these are both looking pretty worn, into a good qualifying position, and yeah, we can make the most of it. As you see, putting the good stuff back onto the car, and I think we're ready to go. The car's at 97% for both, which is good. Both of them are going to go on the soft compound tyre. We have, yeah, 2 sets and then another one for the race. Okay, that's, well, I thought I would have had more than that. Interesting. P1 was wet and rainy, but there doesn't seem to be any of that in qualifying, and the race is supposed to be clear as well. So let's head into qualifying and see how we get on. Okay, so Lewis Hamilton is going out very, very early, and we're going to send Guan Yu Zhou to go out with him as well. Yeah, a couple of people going out early. It is a really, really short lap here in Austria. It's about 105 was our best, a very low 105, as Hamilton sets 103. Zhou sets his quickest as well, which is lovely. We're going to send out, there we go, there's a nice gap there for Alonso, just get in the way of Perez and Stroll, as Alonso will be starting his first fast lap of the qualifying session. He'll catch up Stroll, catch up Perez, and go through in 6th. So at the moment, 6th. Oh, Bottas has locked up and done something bad there. I think we keep those tyres on. I don't think... let's cancel that. Keep those tyres on. Confirm. Keep those tyres on for Zhou as well, because we're not in a terrible position here. With 8 minutes to go, Zhou in 8th, Alonso in 7th. We only need to get out of the top, be in the top 15, and I think we should be able to do that on these tyres. So as I said, a very short lap here, or a very quick lap, I should say. It's not short, it's just a quick lap in Austria. So we're just going to have to time this well. 103, so we could probably leave on like 2 something. 2 minutes probably. Will probably be a good time to go. As Ricardo just comes back in. So we're getting close. There you go. Lots of other people now leaving. So let's go on 2 minutes with Zhou, and then straight away with Alonso afterwards. I don't think we're going to be at the back. We're not. But that's fine. It means we're going to be able to set a decent enough time. I think we're going to get through into Q2, so we're not going to watch these laps because it can. Oh, that's here. Yellow flag in Sector 1 is going to affect some people. So someone ran wide. Alonso does improve. Zhou is still in there as well. Both drivers, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If Stroll hasn't finished yet, but Schumacher doesn't really improve and he ran wide. So we've got both drivers through into Q2 as to be expected. We actually got 8th and 10th, which is a very good indication that we've got a good chance of getting into Q3 with this one as well. So into Q2 we go. We're going to put that same set of tyres on and we're going to see how much we can get out of that one set of tyres, which is a little bit of a worry, but we are going to go for that. So into Q2, and I think we're going to basically do what we did last time. Hamilton not going out quickly on this one. Yeah, no one going out at the moment. There goes Ricciardo. So Zhou's going to go out there. We're going to see if we can get Alonso into a nice gap again. Early on as Zhou starts his fast lap. That was a big gap. We'll send him out there after Guan Yu Zhou. So Zhou's going to come into the pits and give Alonso a lot of free air to start his fast lap. And he gets past Vettel. Albon's locked up somewhere. Right, and Alonso is in. We are going to have to put this. Let's see how this. I just want to see how our times are looking. So Alonso's in 5th, Zhou in 6th. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be very, very interesting. We should be faster than Stroll. I mean, McLaren have obviously bought upgrades if they're ahead of Alonso already. I think we can't really risk it, right? We have to put the fresh softs on both cars. I think it's just tactically right to do it to get us into Q3, especially given that Alonso is 8th and 9th. So we have put some good laps in on those used tyres. Now I think we will. I think we'll go with the fresh set of tyres for Q2. I mean, we got through Q1 only using one set, which I think is a bit of a bonus. So let's slow this down. In fact, we've got to get closer to the 2-minute mark, really. No one's going to jump that early. So, right, there goes Ricciardo. He's going out very early. Norris is out. Hamilton is out. I think we have got plenty of time to get this one in. So, 2-minute mark, we'll send Alonso. Oh, my God, I didn't reconfigure. Hey? Oh, don't do this again. Why can't I put... Okay, right. This is going to be touch and go for Guan Yu Zhou. I don't know why me slowing the time down. It's not going to make a difference. Reconfigure. Confirm. Is it... What did I can't remember what I had to do last time. I don't think Zhou's going to be able to set a time here. What did I have to do last time? Was it car parts? I had to go... I can't remember what I had to do. I did something... I think it was just that, right? Confirm. Yeah, he's not going to have enough. He's never going to set his lap time. He's been screwed over by a mistake in the game. So the checkered flag, Zhou, is not going to be able to set a time. So Zhou, because I'm pretty sure Zhou hasn't even started his quick lap. So no, he hasn't. That's irritating. So Zhou's probably going to go out. It just depends on how his time compares to the guys below him. So we'll watch Fernando Alonso, who set a yellow sector and a green sector. Oh, that's so a glitch has caused... Oh, Zhou's only going to just go out as well. That's really irritating for Guan Zhou. Alonso up to 7th, so Guan Yu Zhou probably could have got... He probably could have beaten Norris. Oh, that's irritating. Always got to reconfigure. As soon as they get into the pits, you got to do that. But Guan Yu Zhou does get 11th, which I'm very, very happy about. And Fernando Alonso, with his 3 grace place grid penalty, is going in to... Oh, so we do get another set. So we'll go back onto that used set and set a time on them. And yeah, that's so irritating about Guan Yu Zhou. Always reconfigure as soon as they come into the pits in case something like that happens. Right, one of the Red Bulls are going out quickly, so we'll definitely follow them. It's Sergio Perez. We're going to follow him around and hopefully get a nice little tow here as Perez starts his quick lap. A bit of traffic in the way, but they should get out the way pretty well. 0.5 off Sergio Perez. So not the best, but we are on used tyres. So we'll reconfigure that, get that fresh set on, and get ready to send Alonso out. Now, we're in 8th at the moment, which means we'll be starting in 11th. I don't think anyone else is taking grid penalties on this race, as the time gets pretty close. It's only, yeah, so 103. I think we can go out on like 140, potentially. Let's see when everyone else starts going out. We should beat Danny Ricciardo, definitely should beat Danny Ricciardo, who does go out early. Yeah, lots of these people going out very, very early. So there we go, 150. We're hopefully going to have a lot of space on this lap to set our fast time as we start the lap there. Loads of time, actually. Absolutely loads of time. Right, on board with Fernando Alonso then. Takes the first corner very well. We're looking for green sectors all across the board, preferably purple, but I don't think Fernando Alonso's got that in him, as here he goes. In fact, let's have a look at... Yeah, so the checker flag's just come down. So Perez set double greens. Hamilton crosses the line. Now let's go back to leader. See how far everyone is. Hamilton is 2.4 seconds off the leader. Russell can't improve either. He stays 4th. Sainz doesn't improve. He stays 5th. So we've got everyone crossing the line now. Leclerc up to 3rd. Gasly up to 7th. But Alonso is going to be the last one. Perez isn't going to get another lap in, I don't think. Neither is Ricciardo, neither is Norris. So we're looking to potentially improve by 0.2 of a second. As we come round the final corner, this will make us jump Pierre Gasly. It is a green sector 2. And as he crosses the line, Fernando Alonso... Oh, much better, up to 7th. Yeah, only just behind Carlos Sainz. This car is showing some pace, and you've got to feel for Guan Yu Zhou. Really got to feel for him. He could have had, I think, a top 10 finish or a top 10 start very easily in this Grand Prix. But the 3 grid penalty will mean we're starting 10th and 11th, which is very, very good. Now, it's just all about getting the strategy spot on. So then, into the race we go. And obviously, Fernando Alonso doesn't have a set of soft tyres, where he's got a set of used soft tyres. They're saying hard finish on softs. I'm sort of leaning towards maybe a medium-hard strategy, because the mediums can get you quite far, and you can sort of push the hards. Can you push the mediums? Not really. I think we go for an undercut pushing on the hards. I think we go for quite a big undercut. How can you push those hards really hard? You can. Yeah, I think we go for that then. We're going to go hards for Fernando Alonso, starting obviously down in 10th. I say down in 10th. That's very, very good, isn't it? Right, strategy then. Do we go for something a little bit different? Starting on the softs, push them a little bit. So you could go softer. Can you do soft medium? Can you make soft medium work? If you don't push them, do you know what? Technically you can. Give a little bit more life into those softs. I think we go for that for Guan Yu Zhou. I think we go soft mediums and really risk it with him and try and make that work. Right, push, push, push. As we know from the start, we go. There was a lot of spins and there was a lot of incidents in this race. So 70 laps. I'm just trying to think what the reports, circuit info... Pit lane lost 27 seconds. Safety car chance 80%. So it's such a fast circuit. You've got to think that there's going to be a safety car, or definitely a virtual safety car, which means we can go slower. So hards to mediums for Fernando, soft to mediums for Guan Yu Zhou. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting race. Let's crack into it. Here we are then. It's a double Red Bull on the front. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this one goes. Ferrari, it's Ferrari, Mercedes in there as well. Alonso not getting a good start on his soft tyres. Guan Yu Zhou has overtaken Alonso already. Oh no, it's 10th and 11th. So those guys have swapped. So the hard tyre clearly having an effect. I'm going to suggest everyone's going to be on mediums or hards other than Zhou. And they are, which was to be expected, I think. To totally be expected, as there's all that congestion into the first corner. So what we're going to do, because Guan Yu Zhou is on that harder tyre, we're going to say don't... Oh, sector 1, there is a yellow flag. Someone spun already in sector 1. Right, so Alonso looks like he's going to lose that position. It must have been a Ferrari, because it was a Ferrari all the way back here, but it was Schumacher that span right at the back in his Williams, trying to get going, just loses the back end and can't make too much of that. So actually Alonso doesn't have to do that anymore because he's nowhere near attacking his teammate. Magnussen's locked up as well, so quite a lot of lap 1 drama happening here. As we know, we're going to have to... We can't afford to push Zhou too much on these tyres too early. I love that camera view where it shows you the out of focus cars and then comes in. So Alonso down to 11th, Zhou up to 8th, which is decent. And now we know after lap 1 we can push Alonso. In fact, Alonso stays on attack, doesn't he? We'll bring you down for your balance. We'll ease off your deployment. And Guan Yu Zhou has started very, very well here. Up a couple of spaces. We'll go back into neutral. Hopefully the tyres can just give him the pace he needs. He sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well, which is lovely. And he's got the inside here on Daniel Ricciardo, and he's going to get that move done. Lovely stuff. Up to 7th place for Guan Yu Zhou. And Fernando Alonso back up into 10th. Let's focus on our lead driver for the time being. That 3-grid penalty did hurt him a little bit, but Zhou's already up to 7th, which is lovely. And Fernando Alonso is on the back of the Ferrari now. Okay, so DRS enabled has meant Zhou has moved up to 6th place ahead of Pierre Gasly, and Alonso is chasing down the Red Bull of Carlos Sainz, which is a weird thing to say when you're managing Aston Martin, that we're chasing the Red Bulls. As Guan Yu Zhou is 1.25 seconds off Alonso. I wonder if we push. Can we look to break the toe to Gasly and catch up with George Russell? That is the key for Guan Yu Zhou. He's not too far in front, so if he can push a little bit more and a little bit harder, he can make that work. And I'm hoping that we can get in as he goes slightly defensive, I imagine that is, on Ricciardo. Yeah, who's right behind him fighting Gasly though. So Zhou, yeah, Russell's going to get towed along. I'm wondering if we don't... Yeah, we're going to lose out because of Russell's DRS tow. Ricciardo gets around on his DRS. And... oh, they got pretty close there, didn't they? They got pretty close. Right, let's... We won't... Well, I'll say we won't force the issue because Russell's actually going... Oh, Hamilton is right there going pretty slow. Can we get in to that range of Hamilton? Yes, we can. I mean, we could even go for the overtake on Hamilton, but we're going to conserve some fuel and see if we can get this back in line with what it needs to be. We'll even harvest up a little bit because we're sitting right behind Lewis Hamilton at the moment. Alonso is in this train as well, so we'll put him on conserve. We're going to focus on Guan Yu Zhou, though, for the beginning of this race. Because I feel like we're in a decent position sitting behind Hamilton here within the DRS, getting pulled along nicely by the Mercedes, who is actually out of range of his teammate Russell. So we might get a strange conserve harvesting overtake here on Lewis Hamilton. Look at the pace of this Aston Martin down that straight. It's absolutely incredible. He is on the hard tyre, Lewis Hamilton, but we're making a good old fight of it against the Mercedes, which is good. That Red Bull powertrain engine in the back of our car is absolutely motoring us along in this Grand Prix with Guan Yu Zhou up to 6th. Carlos Sainz right behind, having a little look as well. But all the while this is happening, we're having a good bit of conserve and on the fuel and on the harvest of the ERS as well. So we're in a good position. Alonso will have, or should have, DRS in a minute. It should be down this straight. Well, it says DRS, it's just not opening up the rear wing for a bit of a graphical glitch. So we are holding on here as this little train in front is... Is that all being held up by Lewis Hamilton at the moment? I think it is. Is that... Oh, wrong one. Is that... Yeah, it is. Lewis Hamilton causing a big train. He might have a bit of damage. You never know. But Guan Yu Zhou's taking it all in his stride at the moment to allow us to harvest up here, which is good. And Alonso's doing pretty much the same. Good to see. Okay, so Alonso just dropping off a bit of the pace of the guys in front of Verstappen up the front. Ran wide on turn 9 under a bit of pressure from his teammate. Oh, yeah, he's gone right off the course and has let a number of drivers get through. And drops from the front of the race all the way down to 4th as we come back as Alonso nearly hits the back of Ricciardo there. And we've charged up a lot of battery now and conserved loads for Guan Yu Zhou, who's still on... Now he's on the tail of Verstappen as he's left Sainz and Hamilton pretty much behind. So he's doing a great job here as he's looking around the outside of Max Verstappen. Guan Yu Zhou having an absolutely storming race at the moment. All right, so Alonso's back on with those guys there. So we'll let his ERS and the DRS pull him around. Look at this train of cars here that's caused by Max Verstappen of all people. We're in a good position with Guan Yu Zhou right now. Oh, Fernando Alonso's locked up at Sector 2. He's falling down the order. I think he's going to be able to continue. He's just locked up, gone into the gravel and off run. Oh, Alonso. He's not enjoying his race at the moment. He's going to come back into 14th, and now we need him to push. We're going to have to potentially change his strategy up, but he needs to push and get back to Stroll as quickly as he can. Alonso not having a good race, but Zhou is still having an absolute stormer. So Guan Yu Zhou in a battle with Sainz and Verstappen and Hamilton. I really don't mind it, because what it's allowing him to do is get all of his fuel back. So I think we could probably even take that off conserve. As look at that, Sainz goes right past Verstappen with the DRS. Lovely stuff from him there. As yeah, Guan Yu Zhou's basically got that back in line. So now, if we can just stay with these two and they can pull us along, this is absolutely marvellous for Guan Yu Zhou. So there's lots of locking up and running wide. No safety cars or virtual safety cars yet. So we are in a pretty good position right now. Just being pulled along by Sainz and Hamilton and Verstappen, all that. Hamilton's having a bit of a shocker. He's locked up a couple of times as Alonso gains a place up to 16th, and he's sort of caught up with a slight group in front, and it is working pretty well at the moment. There we go. He's got his fuel back into zeros, which is good. Look at this. Everyone's sort of bottlenecking, concertining around that corner, and I don't feel like we need to push Guan Yu Zhou. In fact, can we go down to light and get him to conserve a few of these tyres whilst we're sort of in this train that's pulling us along with the big boys? It's lovely. Okay, I'm not sure what's happened to Guan Yu Zhou, but he has just immediately just dropped off the pace. It might be a tyre thing where the tyres, the mediums maybe and the hards are coming to life a little bit. But yeah, he's completely just lost ground on Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz. But he's he's in 8th, so he's putting up a good position. I think he may have had a little bit of a fight with someone a bit higher up, and it cost them a little bit. But we've got his ERS deployed because we obviously charged it up earlier on in the race, hoping that that can bring him back into range of Gasly. But at the moment, he's more concerned with fighting Ricciardo. Alonso's on a bit of a charge. He's climbing up the leaderboard, fighting with Stroll at the moment. But yeah, I'm very happy with what Alonso's doing, given that he spun early on or ran wide and lost his issue. But Zhou and Ricciardo in a bit of a battle, which is going to hurt a little bit. But he's going to absolutely fly past Ricciardo there with DRS. Yeah, how are we doing in terms of life? So Alonso's got quite a lot. Zhou's got a little bit to play with. We can ask him to push a little bit harder. I actually think Alonso can probably push very hard on those hard tyres, although it could be what forced him wide last time, but we need him to take a risk, really. So Zhou up above Ricciardo, still trying to gain on Pierre Gasly up here, who got that spot against us and nudged us out. Alonso on the back of Stroll. There's an 8-second gap to Ocon, so we do need Alonso to push really and try and close that gap, get past Stroll and keep on pushing to try and get as close as he can to Ocon. It's a tough ask, but hopefully he's got it in him. So lap 25, we're coming up to the pit window for sort of both drivers. Well, Zhou first. He's battling still with Ricciardo, which is costing us time to Gasly, who's dropped off the pace of Sainz. So we may catch Gasly up if us and Ricciardo sort of DRS along with each other. As Alonso is still climbing, he has caught Ocon as we're asking him to push a bit more. And now, next on his radar is Vettel, who's 10 seconds in front. So hopefully with Alonso finishing on the mediums, which will be quicker than everybody else when they go onto the hards, we're going to be in a decent position here. As Guan Yu Zhou is in his pit window, his tyres should be okay to get to that exact point for the mediums. Yeah, let's see how this all unfolds. At the moment, 8th and 12th isn't too bad. Absolutely no rain is predicted at all, so there's not going to be anything sort of dramatic happening in this race according to the weather. So at the moment, we just keep on going as we are and hope that Guan Yu Zhou can make this work. Whoa, we got a safety car and people are pitting under the safety car. Guan Yu Zhou has gone past the pit lane, which is a little bit irritating because we could have brought him onto the hards and got him to the end. Oh, that's really irritating. I think we're going to have to go hards and push them. So yeah, we could bring, I think we do, don't we? I think you have to bring him onto the hards under safety car, unless we go medium now and just play it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to stick him on those mediums and see what we can do with him. It's going to be really tough at the end. Fernando Alonso. The thing with Fernando Alonso, he's got so much life left in those hards. It's really annoying to pit him now. But I think you have to take the free pit stop, right? Do we turn this into a bit of a strange... Get Fernando on the mediums now, on the softs now, to let him to really go, and then push those mediums at the end. What if we go softs on a push? No, I think we just get him on the softs, and then we'll push the mediums hard at the end. And we're going to change Fernando to a bit of a two-stopper, like that. Right, okay, so... Oh, okay. Safety cars caused a bit of an issue here. So conserve, harvest. This is going to be good for Alonso's fuel, definitely. Pit in, pit options, onto the soft tyre, pit this lap. Pit options, onto the medium tyre, pit this lap. Right. Okay, so we have the safety car. Zhou's gone past, so he's going to gain a couple of spots as these guys pit, but it's not really going to matter because of the safety car. Alonso comes in and then goes out in 16th, but he's on to the fresh tyres. So both on fresh tyres. It was, I don't know, was it Ocon that crashed? I think it was Ocon. So he spun on turn 4. And he's under pressure from Alonso. I just think he couldn't handle the pressure. Alonso, luckily, on the brakes, misses the accident. Right. So, charging up. Everything's charging. Conserving all of that good stuff. Let's see. What's the safety car doing? We've got another lap under the safety car. Yeah, so Zhou pitted and lost loads of positions because we didn't pit him on the first lap of the safety car, which is irritating. It's not too bad at the end of the day. Safety car will be coming in this lap. I think we have to go for the good restart, right? We have to get everybody pushing really hard. But it shouldn't really come in until you come down past this corner. So we're going to leave it as long as possible. So Russell's not going yet. He may make a move in a minute. So attack, push, deploy. Deploy, push, attack. Yeah, we've got to remember, so Fernando's having another stop. So we really need Fernando to gain a number of places here as we come down. Russell gets us underway. We're on board with Zhou. Let's go on board with Alonso because he's slightly further back. And we'll see everything unfold in front as we come down to corner number 1. A bit of a move there from Stroll on the defensive to try and block off Fernando Alonso. You can see Zhou just in front of Stroll. And I'm going to assume everyone pitted for hards. Yeah, other than us. So Zhou is on a sort of one stop. But everybody else going on to the hards is going longevity. So we should have much better tyres at the end of this race, which would be crucial. Right, Alonso just eking his way around the outside of Lance Stroll and should be able to get away from him with the better grip of the soft tyre, and does. Right, he's right behind Guan Yu Zhou now, who's also looking for a move ahead of him. So Zhou does get past Alex Albon in the AlphaTauri. I was going to say Alex Albon in the Pierre Gasly, but Pierre Gasly also drives for AlphaTauri. Alonso is now looking to make a move on Albon as well. Can he get the inside? Yes, he can. So the Aston Martin drivers both getting really high up here onto this. As Sector 2, we saw that person run wide. It was Kevin Magnussen right in front of us, right in front of Alonso again. He did well to avoid the danger. And both of us, we could get into the top 10 here and sit in that position pretty nicely. So Alonso has got to not push these tyres, and neither has Zhou too much, as Guan Yu Zhou's going for the move right in front of us on Valtteri Bottas on that inside. Can he make that one stick as well? Yes, he can. Right, now we'll drop both drivers just back into neutral to make sure we don't completely kill the battery. It's Guan Yu Zhou up into 11th, not far back off the points. Alonso into 13th. But Alonso obviously has a lot of time to make up because he's got another pit stop to come. As can he get Valtteri Bottas early on? It's going to be harder now without the ERS. Obviously, when DRS opens up, we're going to be in a decent position as Alonso looking for a move on Valtteri Bottas. As Zhou up ahead is taking on Vettel. He's got the inside for the next corner there, Zhou. And looks like Alonso is going to have the inside on Bottas. Can't quite get up in time to get that move done on Valtteri Bottas. Both drivers moving quite erratically on this lap. And this has been a very good restart for the Aston Martin drivers. As Zhou overtakes Sebastian Vettel, which we just saw up at front. Alonso has to get this move done so that we're in a good position for DRS. And now DRS is enabled. So this is where we can just ease off Zhou on his tyres. He's got a bit of fuel to play with. We might conserve that for the end. And again, we need Alonso to sort of get these tyres working till the end. So DRS is activated. So let's get both of the drivers just driving naturally and hope that the faster tyres allow them to make some moves. Zhou back up into the points as the Aston Martin is now sitting behind the battling McLarens, which is always fun to see. Hopefully they take each other out and we gain a spot. But at the moment, not much luck there. It's just Lando Norris at the moment, I think. No, Daniel Ricciardo is the slower of the two, as Alonso is now past Bottas and on the back of this little group. So we could see Alonso and Zhou get past both of this group at the moment, as Alonso, yeah, there's Zhou. Look, he's having a look. In fact, I think we might use Let's get Alonso to deploy whatever he's got. Oh no, that's Zhou. Hang on. No, let's get Alonso, who we're looking at, to deploy and use his energy to try and get the move done. And get us through as we come out of the corners. As look at that, people are all over the place trying to go into the defensive. As Fernando Alonso has the outside, Zhou is sitting on the inside at the moment. What can we do here? Zhou holds the inside and Fernando Alonso is trying to get it going. Let's pop that up into overtake to see if he can use some of that. As Fernando Alonso, it's just complete carnage and chaos as people are moving all over the place to defend around here. As we're going to should be dropping the battery now because we're in overtake. Get that move done against Ocon, and we need this field to settle down. And there we go. Right, Alonso. Oh, he's going to go for 3. He's got 4 people in the same move. Fernando Alonso. That is absolutely superb from the experienced driver. And Zhou nearly got through as well. And he has. They've both got through. Right, so we're in a good position now. I'm sure this fight will carry on. But if Alonso can accelerate away and pull Guan Yu Zhou with him, that would be good. If the natural pace of this car can get us through, we're in a great position at the moment to make this work. Danny Rick is right on the back and he's going to be causing issues, but we do have faster tyres and we are in a pretty good position. Right, we should then Alonso should let Zhou through. Hopefully he holds up Danny Rick though, and it looks like he's going to, which is good because we can sit behind Guan Yu Zhou, harvest up and conserve. And Guan Yu Zhou is hopefully going to be... Or Danny Rick's going for both. Guan Yu Zhou, lovely bit of defensive moving. I'm pretty sure that's illegal to do that. That last minute, I'm pretty sure is illegal. But that worked pretty well with both of us here. And Guan Yu Zhou can just go ahead a little bit, which is fine. We can use this to get Alonso up into his sort of traction here. I should potentially leave Alonso behind. But that's okay, because Guan Yu Zhou is going to have that pace with the slight battery deployment as we come off the corners, which is Alonso's not going to have. Do I just say, right, let's say right now, don't fight teammate. Sit behind him, hold Danny Rick up. In fact, we're going to say to do both. Yeah, hold both cars. Hold cars behind and sit behind Guan Yu Zhou and get pulled along whilst you're charging everything up and conserving, which is totally fine. If we sit back on board there we go. So yeah, we're not going to overtake, which is fine because it's allowing us to charge up. And then when this is charged, we're actually going to tell both drivers to push as much as they want. Look, he gets close to overtaking him and then stops, which doesn't allow anyone else to get past. Although Danny Rick's Norris having a little look on the outside there. Oh no, that was a nightmare. Right, let's go for it. Let's get both drivers on it for pace. Alonso sort of screwed himself over a little bit there, but he'll catch them up. That's not a problem. And then we're going to get Guan Yu Zhou to absolutely fly with everything as well. So deploy. Get all this going. Both drivers are going to try and leave these McLarens for dead. Hopefully. So Alonso has just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Zhou is actually now out of the DRS of Alonso, which is very irritating. But actually, I don't mind that. We don't need him to push because he'll be fighting in this battle. Alonso is just going to get away. I don't think Alonso is going to catch Sainz. But we know that Alonso has another pit stop to do coming up. So we need to make sure that we get this to work. In fact, if Zhou loses a position, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because we need his tyres to last until the end. So let's see. Oh no, Zhou. Is Zhou just going to break away now that I've done that? I think Zhou... Oh, Zhou was so close to breaking a second towards the cars behind him. He's still trying to get it away. Because if he can break that second for the DRS zones, that's absolutely massive. Because what we could do is try and get these two to pull each other along. Come on, Zhou, get that into a second. Get that to be over a second. I don't think it's quite going to happen. No, it's not. So we don't want Fernando to be pushing too hard there. Into neutral it goes. I think we're just going to have to manage this around here. So that's showing Guan Yu Zhou as having DRS. He must have got it off the back of Fernando Alonso, which he has. So he did catch Alonso up. So we've pulled everyone back into contention with Alonso here. Not ideal, wasn't really the plan, but Guan Yu Zhou he's doing a really good job of fighting against Alonso. As long as they don't knock each other out, it's fine. We let them race. Oh, and can you believe it? Guan Yu Zhou is locked up and he's going to lose such a good position in this race. Oh, it's just a stupid lockup. It's really stupid from Guan Yu Zhou. He should do better. He's dropped all the way down to 13th. Oh, Guan Yu Zhou. That is so bad from you, mate. That is so bad. Oh, so both of the drivers have had a lock up. I mean, Alonso's got back up into 8th, and now he's having a go at Carlos Sainz up into 7th, and he's got him. What a time to come back that was. But yeah, Guan Yu Zhou is now in a world of his own. Oh, and he's got to make these tyres last till the end, really, because I think everyone else is, other than Alonso. Well, Sainz is going to pit again, as is Bottas, as is Albon. Okay, some of them are then. Some of them are going to come back in there on their hards. So Zhou might not be completely out of this. His tyres are going to drop off towards the end. Another safety car would be beautiful for Guan Yu Zhou, to be honest. Okay, so those people that were on their hard tyres that were struggling a little bit are starting to pit. Hamilton and Sainz both coming on 60% tyres, which is odd to see. I wonder if they're going to go to... I just want to have a look at this. If you put on the mediums now, yeah, they'll very easily get to the end if you put them on now. Do we want to try that move as well? Do we say absolutely rinse these softs for a couple of... Yeah, let's do that. We're reacting to what the other teams are doing, and I'm sort of thinking, do we risk it with Zhou and get him on, because he's got another pair of softs he could put on to end the race. Because I think we can push Zhou very, very hard here. Put them both onto a new 2-stop, because Zhou's struggling at the back anyway. Oh, I don't know, because Zhou's 1-stop could now work out well for him. Yeah, let's delete that one. Get this back down to how it was. So it'll be a little bit of a struggle at the end, but I think that's going to get Zhou back into position. And yeah, with Fernando Alonso, we're going to react to what everyone else is doing. End this soft stint a bit earlier. Push these laps that we've got here. And see what he can do. Okay, so Alonso's had some stunning laps and is now up to 3rd. He's absolutely rinsed his battery and a bit of fuel, but he is coming in on this lap to go onto those mediums, and this could work reasonably well. And we've got a pretty good set of softs. If there's a safety car towards the end, he can go on. So we're going to just pop this down into 8 times speed, because what I want to do is, as he gets towards this bit here that he's in, we're going to change that to harvest, drop that to balanced, and get him in the pit so that he's harvesting on these last corners, so that when he comes out... So he's into the pit lane. We'll go into the TV view for this one. We do love to watch the pits as they happen, and we haven't watched one yet in this race. So he comes in from 4th. He's going to lose a few places here. Hopefully not too many. Because look where... So Zhou is up to 8th. Zhou's going to overtake Alonso doing this strategy here. So Alonso comes out just behind the points, but he's going to have such fresh tyres compared to everybody else. He's going to be in what is, I think, a decent position to make this back up in this race. So he's going to come out. We'll get him down onto aggressive, which is what he needs to do to get to the end of the race. Go back into neutral, sit him on balanced, and see if he can make these places up. Everyone else in front of me on hard tyres is surely going to struggle. I want to see us do similar to Leclerc and Russell and Hamilton, who I think are all going to jump positions. Whereas Guan Yu Zhou at the moment, 68% tyre left. We've dropped him down into a little bit of lightweight tyre wear at the moment. Can he make a fist of it and stay in the points? Okay, Sector 2. Multiple cars are crashed. Yeah, it doesn't say safety car yet. It says a yellow flag. Stroll. Oh, that's Stroll overtaking Zhou. That's not what I wanted to watch. I want to see the accident. I want to see the incident. It's neither of our cars. If it's a multiple car crash, how is it not a safety car? It's a yellow flag. Vettel has a time penalty. He's now moving again. Crash involving multiple cars, but no safety car. So Vettel having a move on one of the McLarens. Oh, it's only... Yeah, okay. It's just 2 cars that collide, and it's just a little bit of a front end plate. So Vettel gets a penalty. Alonso, 3-4 seconds off Hülkenberg, who he should catch on these tyres, pushing as he is. And yeah, Alonso and Sainz are sort of having a little bit of a ding-dong battle here, and it's sort of eating into our time. Norris comes into pit, probably for a new front wing. I think he was part of the Vettel damage. So Zhou could gain another spot here, and this is not bad at all. This is looking very, very good here. And what we're interested in is if there's going to be another safety car. So you can see Alonso holding up Sainz, but really we need DRS to put us along. Do we let Sainz go through here and then we'll just try and follow him with using his DRS and his overall pace. He is a quicker car than us, so I'm hoping that we can do that. We're going to jump on board with Fernando. I'm going to manage this. I'm going to manage this a bit more manually for a while, so you won't hear any commentary. I'm going to do this off camera as Alonso's just about to go past him. But as long as we're conserving everything, I don't mind. It makes it easier to push at the end. So let's let Sainz get in front of us, and then he can pull us along, Fernando. In the upgrade, I really want things, something you can say, don't overtake. Sit behind him and get DRS. I really want that to be a thing when they next do the update. So there is Valtteri Bottas also coming into the pits. So Guan Yu Zhou should get that place as well. He's still being pulled along by Lance Stroll in front, which is lovely by DRS. As why is Sainz making a right hash of overtaking Fernando Alonso at the moment? There you go, bloody hell, he's made hard work of that, hasn't he? Right, so Sainz should be scooting past us quite easily here. There we go, right. Carlos Sainz is past Fernando Alonso. Now, I need to manage this and just make sure we stay within a second, because we're going to have DRS, we're going to catch him up, hopefully not overtake him. Hopefully not overtake him. Hopefully not overtake him. Sit behind him and let him pull you along. Let his pace pull you along, Fernando. That's what we need. Sainz to catch up with Hülkenberg, or we just need to push everything and completely blitz him. It's up to you. Right, you're going for it. Come on then. Come on then, let's use this pace. Let's use this pace. If you're going to try and go past him, let's do this properly. Let's do this properly. He's squeezing you out. Look, he's squeezing you out. He's squeezing you out. Don't stand for it. In fact, this is the wrong place to do it. What am I doing? I'm an idiot.
We just need to charge up.
Yeah, charge up. Don't push here. Don't push here. Wait until we're going into the start-finish straight. 5 seconds. It's Nico Hülkenberg. We really should be catching him quite easily. Right. Now we go. Now we fully go, because he's there. Blitz past him with DRS. If you don't do it on this corner, you can do it on the next corner. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. But you need to get past him and push the pace. Need to get past him and push the pace. Right, keep on pushing. Fly past him. Fly like the wind. Fly like the wind. Right, you're still sitting behind Lance Stroll, so we can push you up as well. Right, Alonso. What have you got going on? Right. You are pushing away from Carlos Sainz, which is lovely. Now go and push and catch up with Nico Hülkenberg as quick as you can. Guan Yu Zhou hanging on the back of Lance Stroll while charging up and conserving his tyres is absolutely wonderful to see, because it means that he'll get to the end with more tyre life, which is something we need to happen. We do need to make sure he doesn't completely lose Lance Stroll, who is weirdly battling Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. Okay, so we've got Sainz still on our tail, but enough space that we should be able to make this work. So let's drop his tyres back to what they need to be. His fuel is in a good position. So I'm hoping now we can just catch Hülkenberg through natural pace. The fastest lap for Alonso as well. We've got newer tyres. Vettel's going to pit. Anyone in front of Zhou going to come into pit? Doesn't look like it. So Zhou's going to have to manage those to the end. Just under 20 laps to go. Oh, there goes Carlos Sainz. Bloody hell, we're going to be back in this battle again. Okay, so Alonso has now caught Nico Hülkenberg and should pass him pretty easily while he's on the hard tyre. Guan Yu Zhou has dropped off a little bit. Leclerc got into battling him and made it more difficult, so he's now battling Sebastian Vettel. But yeah, Alonso is now past Nico Hülkenberg. If we can get both of our drivers into the points again, we've got lots of battery with Guan Yu Zhou that we can use. Alonso, we know, is going to make it to the end on these medium tyres. Guan Yu Zhou's the tough one. Is he going to make it on his mediums? And it said, if a safety car comes out, it's going to be wonderful for Guan Yu Zhou, because we can put him on fresh softs. Okay, so we've got Fernando Alonso right on the back of Guan Yu Zhou. So we're going to ask Guan Yu Zhou to push, and Fernando to go for this as well. Because if they can both get past Ocon here, or Vettel, which they do, both drivers up into the points. And now I'm hoping they can just pull each other along and make that work. If they keep on battling with each other, I don't mind that. They'll keep pulling each other along. Sainz gets through as well. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. It's not a safety car, though. And Vettel has dropped out the points. But Zhou and Alonso both into the points. We have to make up this time, though, on Stroll, who is 6 seconds in front of us, which is a long old way at the moment. Okay, we're in a massive battle with Carlos Sainz for 9th, 10th and 11th. It's going to be really interesting to see if we can make this work coming into the final laps of the race. We've still got a few to go. And again, Guan Yu Zhou, I just want to have a look. If we put him onto fresh softs, it'll come out in 18th. It's not worth it at the moment. Yeah, he'd be so far off the pace, so we're not going to pit him. He's got to make these tyres. He's got 10% of his tyres left. It's going to be very touch and go for him. Has Alonso got a bit of pace left in these? Yeah, potentially. Let's push Alonso for a little bit, and he's got some fuel. I want one driver to definitely be in for it at the end, so that's what we need to happen at the moment. So Bottas is 4 seconds back. He might catch Guan Yu Zhou. Guan Yu Zhou just... I think he's going to lose DRS here, Guan Yu Zhou, because of his tyre wear. He might just be in it. We need that to go green to help him pull along in this battle. He does still have it, which is good, because he needs that. He really needs that to stay in touch with 10th and 9th, because that's the battle that he's a part of, and he needs to make it work. So Fernando giving it a bit of a push. He's going to get past Carlos Sainz, so we'll drop him back down into aggressive again. We're going to ask Guan Yu Zhou to do everything he can to have a go at Carlos Sainz on these corners here, because I'd rather have him behind Fernando and potentially charging up, and we can get him to try and hold up Carlos Sainz if he gets past him. So Alonso gets past Sainz. Sainz having to go at Alonso, but isn't going to make that one stick. So Alonso will keep the position there. Come on, Guan Yu Zhou, just get past him. Just make it one last little move. That's all we need from you in this race. After both drivers going wide and losing so many positions, we've got them up into a wonderful spot. We really have. Okay, so we're going to get DRS off the back of Carlos Sainz again. I'm just wondering if we can manage this. Oh, Fernando Alonso's done a wonderful job of holding up Carlos Sainz. He's going to get him on this DRS straight, but he did a wonderful job to bring Guan Yu Zhou back into it. There is a yellow flag in Sector 2. What's it going to be? It's just a yellow flag. As I said, a safety car would be massive right now. It would be massive. Right, Alonso in 9th, Zhou in 10th. Hamilton spins. We are up into the points for both of us as Hamilton up ahead of us. Oh, he loses the back end, similar to... I think it was Zhou did it there, didn't he, earlier on? Right, we're both in the points, which is massive. That is absolutely massive for us now. Bottas still 4 seconds back. Can we get Alonso and Zhou past Carlos Sainz? He might drive off into the distance now. As, yeah, you've lost your ERS battery, but we're in a good spot. Zhou's tyres are going to last. They're not going to make it to the end, are they? You're going to have to ease off, lad. You're going to have to ease those tyres off, because you are going to struggle. As Vettel pits for his pit stop and for his time penalty. As Guan Yu Zhou having a little look. Not too much there. Both of them going to have DRS. If we can... Again, this is what I mean. If we're in this little battle, I don't mind. We've just got to keep pace with Carlos Sainz. That's all it is. We don't have to really get round him and make it work, because you're going to get DRS here, which means you can probably drop all of these things back because you're going to keep pace. Again, if we can just manage this and get both of them, if we can get 8th and 9th in this race, I will be absolutely delighted, to be honest. As this is the bit I'm worried about with Zhou. If you're conserving tyres and harvesting, you can very much lose pace on this sort of corner bits here. As Alonso's still battling with Sainz, which is going to hold up the Ferrari driver to get Carlos Sainz in. Sector 1, is it just the... I think it's just the yellow flag again, which is irritating. Give us something more than that. Someone's gone wide. Oh, it's Verstappen. Verstappen's run wide. I think he's cured it, though. I think he's sorted it all out, so he's not in too much trouble. Right, P9 and P10 still, at the moment, sitting behind Carlos Sainz again. Again, that DRS is huge for Guan Yu Zhou to just get him back into this race. And you can see Stroll not too far ahead. That might be a back marker, actually. But, yeah, I'm really worried about Guan Yu Zhou's tyres. He's still got to do 4 more laps on these tyres. So we're trying to manage it to just get him to sort of nurse them round. As Alonso overtakes Sainz. Sainz is going to re-overtake Alonso. But at the moment, it's allowing us to actually manage the ERS pretty well so that we can try and bomb it at the end of the lap. So Alonso can push a little bit harder. We've got to remember that. Yeah, it's going to be a constant battle between us and Sainz as we come here. Although Sainz is... That is Lance Stroll up there. Sainz is... We are closing into Lance Stroll as well, which could be... If Sainz catches him, we could all get past Lance Stroll, whose car doesn't look very quick at all. And with 3 laps to go, Zhou's tyres are going to be right on the limit. They're going to be right on the limit, as is Fernando Alonso's fuel, which is a little bit irritating. Right, I think we blitz Zhou for his ERS here, just to make sure he stays in the DRS. He's slightly losing pace because of his tyres. And look at that, we've all caught up Lance Stroll. I think we need to go and get as many points with Fernando as possible. So he's going to go back to pushing. Zhou, if Zhou can just keep on the end of Lance Stroll, he may even get Lance Stroll here. Everyone has got past Lance Stroll, which is a sentence that you love to say, right? You absolutely love to say that. We're up to 8th and 9th as Stroll drops down into 10th. And Guan Yu Zhou, just nurse these tyres home, mate. Just got to nurse. It's going to be tough. He did it in practice. We ran him on some tyres that went to like 10% just to get him to the end of the session. Oh, I know you're in low fuel range. We'll put you on balanced. Bring it back in. Were you on balanced anyway? You might have been. We'll balance you as well. Guan Yu Zhou, don't lose DRS. We need you to get pulled along. I think you're just about going to have it again. Yes, you are. Right, you're just about to have DRS. Both on DRS then. 3 laps to go. It's getting very tense as Zhou is losing out of that DRS range. I think we just keep him on standard and just get him to do those. Get him to do it. Is Stroll going to take us here? We're going to use your ERS for defending. We're not too fussed about anything else at the moment. As Alonso is battling. Where is Stroll? He's right there. He's going to have DRS. He's probably going to take Guan Yu Zhou right now. I don't know. Oh no, he is really gaining, yeah, with DRS, but he's struggling to get past us, which is good. Alonso really needs to bring this. Okay, let's harvest and conserve just for this bit here. And we can save a bit of tyre as well. And we're going to push really hard. We're going to try and keep with Sainz just into the last lap. Then we're going to gun it and get everything back in, hopefully. I mean, we're in a great place. 8th and 9th, even if Stroll takes us on the last lap, potentially with Guan Yu Zhou. I think we're going to be in an okay position here because DRS will help us be pulled along. Zhou, well out of DRS, is going to be taken by Stroll. We might have to micromanage both drivers here into the last lap, which I'm not a big fan of because it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot to do and to focus on as Zhou's looking at having a move. Right, the main focus is Alonso because that is going to get us the most points. But I think if we harvest up, conserve everything for these guys, because Alonso's going to, again, get DRS off Carlos Sainz here. Let's get you saving some fuel as well, because we just need to make sure we finish the race to get the points. That is crucial. Okay, lap 70. I don't think we're in any danger of Bottas. Bottas might catch us, but at the moment, I think we're doing all right. So Alonso is just about hanging on the back of Carlos Sainz. I think we're going to have to go into neutral now and deploy this a little bit. Because what we need to do is sort of do it, get the move done with Alonso, and then quickly flip to Zhou and get the move done with Zhou. So they're both going to have DRS at the right time. We don't want it to be done on this first DRS. We want it to be done on the second DRS. That's when we want it to be done. Last lap. Right, so that's that DRS. Push, attack, deploy. Aggressive, push, deploy. Right, if we can get him in somewhere around here, it'll be massive. Zhou, you need to close that gap. Alonso trying to close the gap now. Can he make it? You need to push everything. Everyone, this is it. This is the DRS zone that we need both drivers to get it done. And Alonso is absolutely flying past Carlos Sainz. And Zhou, are we going to get on board for him to do it as well? Come on, Zhou. I know your tyres aren't as good. Oh, he didn't quite get it done. Sector 2, there's something happening in Sector 2. As Zhou has not got past Stroll, but Bottas is right on the back of Zhou as well. Alonso, is it? Sainz. Sainz has spun. Sainz has spun. Oh, he's obviously tried to push too hard to get Fernando back. And he's come into this corner that's caught so many drivers out. And Carlos Sainz is going to tumble down the order, which is fantastic for Guan Yu Zhou. Alonso is now out in the clear. Can Zhou get it done on these last few corners? Go on, really push. Really push those tyres. Alonso is going to cross the line in 7th, which is wonderful corner that he spun. Can he get it done? Coming out of the last corner, I don't think he's going to get it done. Lance Stroll, I think, is going to hold on. He does. A good finish, 7th and 9th. Both drivers spun. Both of them have climbed in the rankings. Both of them finish in the points. Brilliant. A superb race. A 2-stop for Alonso, a 1-stop for Zhou. Again, showing that the split strategies can work really, really well. I'm very, very happy with that one. Great race. Double points again for Aston Martin. And, well, it went Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo. Sainz with a spin on the final lap. Costs him any points for Ferrari. Danny Ricciardo with a great race up in 6th. And Pierre Gasly getting 2nd. What a race for him. Yeah, a wonderful performance. It would have been interesting to see what Alonso could do if he hadn't got the grid penalty. He climbed 3 places, which was his grid penalty. Zhou climbing 2 as well. Into the drivers then. Pierre Gasly overtakes Fernando Alonso into 8th, but I think Pierre Gasly getting a 2nd place is when he is so OP in this game. It's unbelievable. But Guan Yu Zhou in 10th and Alonso in 9th. 2 drivers in the top 10 is awesome. And into constructors, we stay in 4th. AlphaTauri gaining on us by 9 points. And, yeah, we're in a very good position to finish potentially best of the rest, which is very nice to say and to see in this sort of graph and chart as well, or table. It's not a graph, it's a table. So, lovely stuff there in Austria. Next up is France. And, right, what have we got here? Boardroom refurbishment is complete. Lovely stuff. So we voted... Oh, this was the change in points, wasn't it? Us, Alfa Romeo and Red Bull said yes. Most people said no, so it's going to change. Not going to change anything. The Austrian Grand Prix went very, very well. The board were happy, and have we got? We might have points to use for Seaport. F1 in schools. Yeah, we're going to attend. I always attend that. Lovely stuff. We're going to go and help STEM in the world. Right, drivers. Do we have any points? None for Alonso. None for Guan Yu Zhou. None for Drugovic either. Staff. We have 1 development for our technical chief. Let's go for the front wing, actually, for him. Head of Aero doesn't have any. Race Engineer 1, no. Race Engineer 2, no as well. So I think what we're going to do, though, is give you, Ben Mitchell, a new contract. We're going to give you 1 million a year, which is a pay rise. 1 million a year will give you a 3-season contract. What do you say to that, good sir? Because I think you're doing all right. No, declined. So, okay, let's go up to, what was it, 1.16. Let's go for 5 seasons. He's very good at 85, so I'm more than happy with that. Yep. Not happy with the wage. Okay, this salary isn't high enough. I'm not happy with this. Okay, so let's give him a little bit of a bonus then for signing. Let's give him a 60 grand bonus. We'll give you 1.25. How about that? He's still got a bit of patience. I'm happy to tie him down to a long contract. 5 seasons. No, he's still not happy with the bonus. The salary is acceptable. So let's give him a, 150 grand sign-in bonus? I mean, you surely can't be too annoyed with 150 grand for carrying on doing your same job. Surely not. This will be the last chance before we get... Yeah, there we go. Contract accepted. Renew that contract. Lovely stuff. 150 grand play to Ben Mitchell for signing a piece of paper. And I'm hoping that is, going to keep him with Guan Yu Zhou for quite some time. You've got 2 years left on your deal, which we're happy with. 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 4 years. I'm just wondering, do we tie Guan Yu Zhou down? Do you know what? We're going to commit to Guan Yu Zhou here. We're going to commit. So a 4-season contract. We'll give him all the same stuff. Let's just see if he's happy with that. Keep him on the same contract, but get him in for the same amount of time. He wants more wage. I think, that's fine, giving him a pay rise. I mean, he's still saving us money compared to what we used to pay Sebastian Vettel. So let's have a look. Happy. He's still not happy with the wage. Might be a 3 million jobby. Let's go 3.25. I think that's fair enough. You are technically risking your life every time you drive for us, so let's go for that. Yep. No, still not happy with the salary. Still not high enough for him. I wish they could, give you a negotiation back to say, well, this is what I want. We're going to give him 4 million. That should be enough to sign a 4-season contract, which would be epic to tie him in. He's happy with that. It's going to be done. The deal's going to be done. Renew that contract. Lovely stuff. Guan Yu Zhou signs, which I think keeps him paired nicely enough with his technical driver. So Guan Yu Zhou, remaining contract 3 years. His race engineer, remaining contract 4 years. So he's going to be here for an extra year. But I don't mind that. Do we go for Alonso as well? For another Do we try? Oh, we can't do him. He's recently started a new contract. Oh, yes, I messed it up, didn't I? So we'll have to wait until the end of the season. Right. We'll be back next time for the Circuit Paul Ricard. Nothing really going on in between these races and the next one. We've got a whole week off. A few things being constructed, a few sponsor obligations, but nothing else. So thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Still absolutely loving this game. It's really good fun. If you like management games and you like F1, this is definitely a game for you. Go check it out. Thank you so much for watching. See you in a bit. Cheers.